Hello, everyone. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the Unit 2B progress checkpoint that's going to be the focus of your work this week. So the Unit 2B progress checkpoint is actually going to be very helpful in completing the Unit 2 paraphrasing assignment that you're going to have due on Sunday in 101. So the Unit 2B progress checkpoint itself is going to ask you to complete a paraphrase for a quote that's already provided. Then you can use that paraphrase in your 101 Unit 2 paraphrasing assignment. One of the main things you're going to be doing over in that paraphrasing assignment is the details ask you to pick a quote, explain why you picked it, and paraphrase it. In this case, if you follow along with this, there's a quote that I've already selected. So you can explain in your 101 assignment why you think it's a good quote. But the purpose of this particular assignment is to get you to do the paraphrasing work already, because that's the hardest part. So one of the things that I would like you to do is read through this article on paraphrasing to understand what exactly that is. Paraphrasing is the act of putting things in your own words to make them flow better in your papers. So paraphrasing is something that you do when you read ideas and then you put them into your own words in your paper. It's like you explain them back to the reader. And you still quote them because that's a really important part. Including citation is really important because the ideas don't belong to you, even though you have explained it in your own wording. The ideas are still the original author, so you still include citation, but paraphrasing is a way that you can avoid always quoting. It's a way of writing in your own style and your own sort of way of speaking while taking the ideas from a source and translating them into your paper. So that's what paraphrasing is. And this article is going to talk a little bit more about it and give you more examples. It's an incredibly difficult concept, which is it's something that students struggle with all the time, all the way through different levels. I would say that paraphrasing is difficult even for people in graduate school. It's a difficult skill. So that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to create this Unit 2B progress checkpoint to make your life a little bit easier when you go to submit the Unit 2 paraphrasing assignment. So if you look at the assignment details for the Unit 2B progress, there's actually a couple steps I want you to take. And the first step is to look through the material in the Paraphrasing Resources Common module. If you click on that and open it in a new window, it talks about what is a paraphrase, why and when should I paraphrase, how do I paraphrase, how do I cite a paraphrase, what are good examples of paraphrase. And I really want y'all to go through and look at this. Particularly if you look back at the assignment details, I want you to take the paraphrasing challenge at the bottom of the Paraphrasing Resources Common module. And I'll show you that let me just pull it up. The paraphrase challenge is at the bottom of this last article, the what are good examples of paraphrase, lesson 5 out of 5. I want you to check out the paraphrase challenge because this is going to help you figure out whether or not a paraphrase statement is acceptable or not. So this is a really good chance to work with the idea of paraphrasing and citation. Because the problem is, since paraphrasing is difficult, often students will say, okay, well, I have to put in my own words and I can't quote it. So I'm just going to cut and paste the original author's idea in here and change a couple words. That's not good enough. That's going to get you in trouble with plagiarism. So this unit is designed, this module is designed to help you understand a little bit of the difference. Paraphrasing is one of the main reasons that people get into trouble with gray areas of plagiarism, because they'll say, well, I didn't take it directly from the source. I use this word and they use that word, but it's still getting flagged as plagiarism because in this case, it's still too close to the original author's language. And that can be a real gray area. Something we talked about a little bit in 101 in terms of thinking about like the plagiarism quiz. You know that stealing papers is bad, but you might still get in trouble for citing sources that have language too close to the original. So this module is going to help you get an idea of how to avoid that with paraphrasing. So I want you to read through the material in the Paraphrasing Resources Common module, take the paraphrasing challenge at the bottom of the Paraphrasing Resources Common module, And then for step 3, I want you to demonstrate what you learned about paraphrasing from completing this paraphrasing assignment. And by that, I mean the paraphrasing assignment right here. Trying to think of the best way to word this. We'll go with this. If you click on this, it's going to download a Word document, and this is what I want you to turn in once you complete it. So I picked an article for you. Quote from the article, The Pandemic's Remote Learning Legacy, A Lot Worth Keeping by Sarah Matusik. And then you can see that I have a little bit of a setup and I have this quote. And what I want you to do here is include your cited paraphrase of the quote. So I want you to take this quote and put it in your own language and include this citation afterwards. And then you can use this as the basis of your 101 Unit 2 paraphrasing assignment. You'll still need to answer that question in the middle about why this might be a good quote to use in your paper. But this way you have the quote selected and you'll have turned in a paraphrase that I will help you out with some feedback before you go into that Unit 2 paraphrasing situation. So that's kind of the purpose of what's going on here. Yes, I know there's a lot of steps, 1, 2, 3, but the reason is I really do want you to understand what you're doing, and I want you to complete this and have it be really good so that you are set up for success for the 101. Let me just pull it up. That 101 paraphrasing assignment that you also have coming due on the Sunday. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what I would like you to do.